the subscribe button if you don't want me to come at night.
Imagine an abandoned carnival echoing with the ghostly laughter of crowds long gone. This once bustling hub of joy and excitement now stands in desolate silence, a chilling testament to the passage of time. Where once the air was filled with the sweet aroma of cotton candy and popcorn, now only the musty scent of decay lingers. The vibrant colors and flashing lights that used to dance in the night have faded into the bleakness, swallowed up by the thick cloak of darkness. In the midst of this haunting scene, there's a structure that stands out, a towering relic of the past. A rusty old roller coaster, its once gleaming tracks now tarnished by years of abandonment, looms over the carnival. It stands tall against the moonlit sky, an eerie silhouette frozen in time. In the heart of this desolation, an old roller coaster creaks ominously, its tracks winding into the darkness like a serpentine monster. Suddenly, without a warning, the roller coaster roars to life, its phantom ride begins. The stillness of the abandoned carnival is shattered by a bone-chilling cacophony. The once dormant beast of a roller coaster, now possessed with an eerie life force, starts its ghostly dance. Imagine, if you will, the spectral symphony of sounds that fill the air. The creaking of ancient gears, the whirring of chains, the deafening rumble of wheels on rusted tracks. An orchestra of the unexplained, playing a haunting melody that echoes through the desolate fairgrounds. The roller coaster, a relic of joyous screams and thrilled laughter, now stands as a twisted monument to fear. Its once vibrant colors faded and peeling, its once gleaming tracks now tarnished and corroded. Yet it moves. It moves with a purpose that defies logic, defies reason, defies reality itself. The empty carts, like specters of forgotten fun rides, follow the twisted path laid out by the ghostly conductor. Up the steep incline they climb, seemingly driven by an unseen force. At the peak they pause, as though savoring the anticipation, then hurtle down at a speed that sends a chill down your spine. This phantom ride doesn't just traverse the physical track. It journeys through the realm of the supernatural, where the laws of nature are defied, and the boundaries of normality are blurred. It's a ride that carries an eerie echo of joyous past, a chilling reminder of its vibrant history, now replaced with a spectral present. The roller coaster, once a symbol of thrill and excitement, has transformed into an ethereal entity, combining the innocence of a carnival ride with the terror of the unknown. Its ghostly journey is a chilling spectacle, a paradox of fear and fascination. And then, with a shriek of metal that reverberates through the night, the roller coaster takes a sudden plunge. Its phantom riders, if there were any, would be swallowed by the darkness, their screams drowned in the eerie silence that follows. With a shriek of metal, the ride plunges into the darkness, disappearing from sight. Now imagine being on that ride, strapped into the cold, hard seat as it hurtles into the unknown. You can almost hear the creaking of the old metal beneath you, feel the chill of the damp night air against your skin. The ride begins to move, slowly at first, then gaining speed. The wind starts to whistle in your ears, growing louder with each passing second. The rusty chains of the ride rattle and clank, a dissonant symphony that sets your teeth on edge. Suddenly the ride lurches forward, sending a jolt of fear rippling through your body. You're thrown back in your seat as the coaster plunges into a steep descent, the wind tearing at your face like a savage beast. You try to scream, but the sound is ripped away by the wind before it can even leave your lips. The world around you becomes a blur of distorted shapes and colors as you're whipped around hairpin turns, your body straining against the safety harness. Every inch of you feels the relentless pull of gravity as the ride spirals upwards, only to plummet back down in a heart-stopping drop. Your stomach lurches, rebelling against the unnatural sensation. The ride takes a sudden twist, hurling you sideways. The world tilts on its axis, and for a moment you struggle to tell up from down. Your senses are assaulted by the rush of adrenaline, the deafening roar of the wind, and the metallic taste of fear in your mouth. Just when you think you've adjusted to the breakneck speed and disorienting twists, the coaster takes another plunge, this one steeper and faster than before. The air is sucked from your lungs as you're thrown into a free fall, the ground rushing up to meet you in a dizzying blur. But the ride isn't done with you yet. It jerks you upwards, carrying you to the highest point of the track. For a brief moment you hang suspended in the air, the world around you eerily silent. Then you're falling again, hurtling down a descent so steep It feels like you're diving headfirst into the abyss. You brace yourself for the impact, but it never comes. Instead, the coaster veers sharply to the left, throwing you off balance. You're tossed around like a rag doll, your body contorting in ways you never thought possible. And then, just when you think it can't get any worse, the ride dives into a pitch-black tunnel, swallowing you whole. The last thing you see before darkness engulfs you is the flickering light at the end of the tunnel, growing smaller and smaller until it disappears completely. The terrifying journey isn't over yet. In fact, it's only just begun. In the darkness of the tunnel, ghostly apparitions appear, each more terrifying than the last. This isn't your typical haunted house at a Halloween event. No, this is something far more chilling. These are the spectral figures of past carnival goers, forever trapped on this eerie carnival ride, their faces frozen in eternal screams of terror. Imagine, if you will, the first apparition. A woman in a vintage dress, her hair adorned with a floral headpiece. She might have been beautiful once, but now her face is contorted in a silent scream, her eyes wide with an unending fear. Her hands reach out as if pleading for help, but they are as intangible as the cold night air. Following her is a figure of a man dressed in a striped carnival barker's suit. His face, once full of life and laughter, is now a mask of terror. His mouth is open in a silent cry, a cry that will never be heard. His eyes, hollow and empty, tell a tale of a horror that is beyond comprehension. Then come the children, their once innocent faces now twisted in torment. They look as if they are crying, their spectral tears shimmering in the darkness. They reach out their tiny hands, longing for comfort, but all they grasp is the chilling air of the tunnel. The apparitions come in a relentless parade, each one telling a story of a joy-filled day turned into a nightmarish eternity. They are trapped, forever riding this haunted carnival ride, their screams echoing in the cold, unforgiving darkness. But the most terrifying apparition of them all is the last one, a dark, shadowy figure, its face obscured. It seems to be watching, waiting. There is an air of malevolence about it, a sense of unspeakable evil. It leaves an icy chill in its wake, a chill that cuts to the bone. As the last apparition fades, the ride bursts out of the tunnel back into the cold night air, but the terror is far from over. The unseen horror still awaits. But the ride isn't over yet. Something unseen, something terrifying awaits in the darkness. The roller coaster, now an entity of its own, starts to slow down, descending into an eerie silence. The once deafening clatter of the tracks now stands replaced by an unsettling hush. The only sound you can hear is the echo of your own shallow breaths bouncing off the rusted iron framework. The air grows colder, the atmosphere thicker, as if the shadows themselves are closing in. You're not alone. There's a presence here, an entity that lurks unseen in the corners of this abandoned ride. It's the ghost of the carnival, the phantom of joy rides past. The silence is its language, the darkness its veil. It feeds off the fear, the anticipation, thriving in the suspense that hangs heavy in the air. You can feel it, can't you? That prickling sensation at the back of your neck, the goosebumps rising on your skin. It's the dread of the unknown, the terror of what's to come. It's the fear of the unseen. For what we can't see can often scare us more than what we can. The roller coaster creaks, groans under the weight of the unseen terror. It's as if time itself has come to a standstill, the world holding its breath in anticipation. You're on the edge of your seat, the silence deafening, the suspense unbearable. But then, just as you feel the terror reaching its peak, just as you brace yourself for the unseen, the unthinkable happens. The ride grinds to a sudden halt. No warning, no explanation, just an abrupt stop, leaving you hanging quite literally in the balance. You're left there, suspended in the air, the ground a distant memory. The darkness around you is all-consuming, the silence deafening. You're in the heart of the darkness, the epicenter of the unseen terror. Just as you brace for the unseen terror, the ride suddenly stops, leaving you hanging in suspense in the heart of the darkness.
Hit the subscribe button if you don't want me to come at night.